Hey everyone, welcome to the Wealthnetic channel. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to get richer and richer while others struggle financially, no matter how hard they work? What if I told you that a lot of what we're taught about money, especially in school, might be holding us back? Today, we're diving into a book that completely changed the conversation about personal finance, Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. This book isn't just about getting rich. It's about changing your entire mindset around money. Kiyosaki shares the lessons he learned from two father figures, his own highly educated, but financially struggling father, the poor dad, and the father of his best friend, a high school dropout who became a self-made millionaire, the rich dad. The contrast between their beliefs is eye-opening. The poor dad would say, "The love of money is the root of all evil," while the rich dad would say, "The lack of money is the root of all evil." Ready to have your perspective shifted? Let's get into it. The first and probably most famous concept from the book is the difference between assets and liabilities. It sounds simple, but this is where most people get tripped up. Rich Dad's definition is crystal clear. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. That's it. Now, think about the traditional middle-class dream. Go to school, get a good job, buy a house, maybe a nice car. According to Rich Dad, that beautiful house you live in, it's often your biggest liability, not your greatest asset. You're constantly paying for the mortgage, property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. It's taking money out of your pocket every single month. The wealthy, on the other hand, focus their lives on acquiring assets. We're talking about things like rental properties that generate monthly income, stocks that pay dividends, or a business that runs without you needing to be there every day. The goal is to build a portfolio of assets that generate enough passive income to cover your expenses. Once your passive income from assets exceeds your living expenses, you've achieved financial freedom. You're no longer dependent on a paycheck. This simple shift from buying liabilities that we think are assets to actually buying income-generating assets is the fundamental secret to building wealth. The second core idea is that the rich don't work for money. They make money work for them. This is a huge mental leap. The poor dad's advice was study hard so you can find a good company to work for. The rich dad's advice was study hard so you can find a good company to buy. See the difference? One mindset is about being an employee, trading your time for a fixed salary. The other is about being an owner or an investor, where your money and your assets are the employees working 24/7 to make you more money. Kiyosaki explains that working for a paycheck is often the riskiest path. You're one layoff, one economic downturn, one new technology away from losing your only source of income. When you work for money, you're trapped in what he calls the rat race, an endless cycle of working to pay bills. With any raise you get, being eaten up by taxes and increased spending. The way out is to use your job's income not just to live, but to buy assets. Each dollar you invest in an asset is like an employee you're sending out into the world to earn more for you. Over time, these dollar employees create a stream of income that sets you free from the need to trade your time for money. This brings us to our third key concept: mind your own business. No, he doesn't mean to stop being nosy. He means you need to focus on building your own asset column, separate from your profession. Your profession is what you do to earn a paycheck. You might be a teacher, a doctor, a software engineer. But your business is what you invest in. Kiyosaki gives the example of Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's. When Kroc asked a group of MBA students what business he was in, they all said hamburgers. He corrected them, saying, "My business is real estate." While McDonald's sells hamburgers, the company's massive wealth was built by owning the valuable land under each franchise. For us, this means that while you're working your 9-to-5 job, you should also be minding your own business by investing in things that will grow your wealth independently. This could be building a stock portfolio, buying a rental property, starting a side hustle, or even creating intellectual property like a book or a course. Your job pays the bills in the short term, but your business, your asset columns, what will build your long-term wealth and financial security. Don't confuse your profession with your business. A powerful story from the book that illustrates these principles perfectly is how Kiyosaki and his friend Mike started their first business as 9-year-old boys. Wanting to learn how to make money, they went to Mike's rich dad for advice. His first lesson was to work for him for free. After a few weeks of working for 10 cents an hour and then for nothing, the boys were frustrated. But Rich Dad was teaching them a crucial lesson: to break free from the trap of working for a small paycheck and to start thinking like an owner. He pushed them to see an opportunity that others missed. In their neighborhood, they noticed that stores were throwing away old comic books. So, they collected all the free comic books, set up a small library in Mike's basement, and charged other kids 10 cents for admission to read as many comics as they wanted. They were making money without being physically present. They had created an asset. This simple comic book library was their first lesson in making money work for them, creating a system that generated income without trading their time for it. It perfectly encapsulates the idea of finding opportunities, creating value, and building an asset that produces cash flow. So, how can you start applying these powerful ideas to your own life starting today? Here are a few actionable takeaways. First, start tracking your finances to truly understand what is an asset and what is a liability in your life. Make 2 columns on a piece of paper. On one side, list everything that brings money in each month without you working for it. On the other, list everything that takes money out. The goal is to make the first column bigger than the second. Second, pay yourself first. This is a classic, but it's crucial. Before you pay your rent, your bills, or buy groceries, set aside a portion of your income to invest in assets. Even if it's just a small amount, make it a non-negotiable habit. This forces you to live on the rest and prioritize building your asset column. Third, and perhaps most importantly, invest in your financial education. Read books, listen to podcasts, take courses, and talk to people who are successful with money. The reason people are scared to invest is because they don't understand it. The more you learn, the less risky it becomes. Your mind is your greatest asset, so invest in it relentlessly. You don't need to become an expert overnight, but you do need to start learning the language of money. To wrap it all up, Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a powerful wake-up call. It challenges us to rethink everything we've been taught about money and work. The core message is simple: build and acquire assets that generate passive income. Make your money work for you, not the other way around. And never stop learning about how money really works. It's not about how much you earn, but how much you keep and how hard that money works for you. I highly encourage you to pick up a copy of the book and read it for yourself. The lessons in it could truly change your financial future. What was your biggest takeaway from today's video? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.